Okay, I'm assuming we're live.
Yes, we are.
Hello, everybody. Hooray! It actually worked. Right,
Yay.
this is the very first episode of Kirkwall Crusaders, a podcast by Sarcastic Hawk, written by Sarcastic Hawk, directed by Sarcastic
Starring
Hawk.
Sarcastic Hawk.
So we're trying to find something a little bit different. Never done one of these streams before, actually run by me, so I do apologise if anything goes wrong. But today I am joined by Keyframe Chopper.
Yep.
You can say hello.
Hello.
Well, would you prefer Mark?
I prefer
Would you prefer to be
just call me Mark. I think like Keyframe Chopper is just like an arse name that I don't even use.
Yeah. Okay, Mark. And the reason for this little stream is the recent outrage over what Fuentes said on the 31st of October, which was about pretty much coming out as a 90s liberal with his if you're born here, this is your birthright, this is our country, our empire, and people scrutinize what he said. What did you think of the actual situation when you heard?
I honestly ever since I started following Fuentes online, I thought like he's like a clown. Like it's maybe like I'm on the borderline that like he's a fed, but I don't have like enough proof to prove it. Other than that, like he never got jailed after January 6th. But like I only follow like American politics as like a TV show. Like it's really like fun for a while, but like it's very addicting. But like honestly, it's like really funny because like whenever like he tries to like make a public statement, it just keeps changing it.
Yeah, I get that. I follow obviously American politics because it's it eventually reaches the UK, and soon we start seeing like how culture starts off in America, then comes down to the UK and all of that. So I take a lot of interest in it, and while I can see why people like Fuentes and support him, there is just like a tiny little thing that just makes me wary of him. That might be because I've seen so many similar people, and also, unfortunately, he does have a habit of flip-flopping his opinions, as
very shallow as well,
as recently been shown with. Well, let's put it this way: when I heard him say about, obviously, let me see if I can share the screen of the quote. It probably will. Completely destroy the stream.
Yeah, you start lagging after that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, it's on.
I don't care what color you are. Yeah, I don't care what color you are. If you're born in this country, this is your birthright. This is our country. This is our empire. That rhetoric is European leftism. I'm just coming off of it now because I don't want to destroy the stream. That's 100% European leftism. And a lot of people called it out as that. And obviously, Fuentes' supporters were quick to jump to his defense.
As usual.
Explaining that, oh, well, America's different. We're a melting pot, blah, blah, blah. The usual stuff. And I think the issue is a lot of the right-wingers who were talking about it, not liking it, they were European right wingers, and we've been through this argument years ago, and completely like squashed it and said, no, this is not the rhetoric to get our nations back. This is the rhetoric of European leftists who have spent years destroying us. I don't think the Groypers comprehended that. And then obviously, there were, like, it was a couple of days, they kept going backwards and forwards. I got repeatedly told by Groypers that Fuentes has always been like this. He's always been about, if you're born here, as long as you support America, blah, blah, blah. All the stuff I've heard, like Labour and Keir Starmer say.
Yeah.
I mean, that quote could literally be put into Keir Starmer's mouth and no one would be surprised by it.
Yeah, it's like the new, did Hitler say this, or Fuentes?
Yeah, did Keir Starmer say this or did Fuentes say this? And it's like, oh, actually,
Yeah.
no, Fuentes says this. So obviously, that's where the backlash against that quote was, and like I said, it's just 90s liberalism. It's the exact same rhetoric which is at the foundation of like all the West's problems, where being born somewhere doesn't automatically make you that thing. So there was that. Then obviously a couple of days later, he now goes on to be like, well, I don't even want to live next to blacks. I don't even, want to do all this. Anyone criticizing me about what I said is just trying to, cut me down.
Take him out of context.
Yeah, stuff like that. And it's a bit like, no, the people who were, well, even if we say 50-50, say 50% of people were just doing it to take him down. Yeah. The other 50% was just criticizing them because, well, we've heard this rhetoric before, and we couldn't understand why he why he said it. Now, if he plans on being the leader of the right wing, which is obviously what he wants to be.
Yeah, he definitely is going for like political ventures.
Yeah, he wants to be the guy who is head of the right. He's going to have to accept criticism. He's going to have to accept that people will scrutinize what he says.
Yeah.
He can't just demand everyone agree. Otherwise, they're an enemy. Because then it also goes against the rhetoric. If you're America first, but you don't agree with him, well, he doesn't want to work with you. Well, then that means that you're not willing to work with anybody.
Yeah, you can't really be picky when you're trying to break into something like that.
Yeah, I mean, this is where it starts going from a movement to a cult. Really, a movement has disagreements with each other. A movement accepts that there's different opinions, but it's all moving in the same direction. A cult is there's one person, they say what's going, and then there's nothing else. There's no discussion around it. If you bring it up, you must be 100% supportive of whatever the person in charge says. And that's where I think Fuentes struggles with making the Groyper and his movement legitimate, if you understand where I'm coming from with that.
Yeah, I do.
Like if he wants to be taken as if they all want to be taken as a serious movement, they're going to have to understand that not everyone's going to agree with you 100% of the time, and that Fuentes will be wrong about some stuff. But you can't just say he's right all the time. You must be some sort of Jew or Indian or, you know, American traitor because you
Yeah,
don't agree with him 100% of the time.
those kind of things are like reserved for children, because like the kind of like arguments that they are like tossing around, like insults to people that disagree with them, is just like it's not gonna like reflect as like a good foundation for your movement. Because like how
No.
he does like his takes is that like he says one thing and 3 days later he's gonna like flip flop to the like you said, like 180 degrees to the like the opposite thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if he does this for too long, people are still gonna follow him for sure. But like those people are like not gonna be like the people that's gonna like build his community around him, to the point that like he can
Yeah.
like do these political like ventures in the future. Like I honestly doubt that like he can like have that, because like he's just so inconsistent, either by like, because like the people behind him that like started him on this like thing to be like this alt-right of whatever like he's calling himself, a streamer, or like he does it by himself. It's just like it's not gonna work in the long run. Like it really reminds
Yeah.
me of like that other like YouTubers who try to like enter politics and fail miserably.
Yeah. Well, you have to remember, like, you may have millions of followers, but are they all in a concentrated area for you to get the votes?
Yes, like leave it alone that like maybe like most of them are Americans, but they're probably not gonna be like around Chicago, Illinois, or wherever the hell he
Yeah.
lives.
Yeah. So yeah, because Carl Benjamin found that out when he went for MEP.
Yeah,
He didn't do too bad. He came third, but yeah, the numbers that you have on your YouTube following mean nothing if they're not in a concentrated area. But another thing is, a lot of people are saying, like, obviously he's trying to build a political movement. He's got to be nuanced about what he says. A political movement built on someone who flips and flops is going to get called out constantly. Because surprisingly, there are more people who aren't gropers than there are gropers.
yeah, and he's not enjoying it so far.
Yeah, and the thing is they may just follow whatever he says and agree with him 100% and just, you know, go along with it. But average people aren't just going to be like every couple of days changing their opinions, you know, constantly.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine him on the campaign trail, right? Let's just say in the future he goes to be president and he's on the campaign trail. And on Monday he says something like what was said, as long as you're you know, love America, and you're born here, you know, I'll work with you. And then by Thursday he's going, well, I don't really want to live next to blacks, and, you know, I don't really agree with birthright, you know, citizenship. Well, in politics, that's going to get picked up
Yeah,
on.
that's a suicide action to do.
And no amount of people writing on Twitter saying, well, no, actually what he meant. Well, no, it's going to be you know, talked about, and other people are going like, well, if he just keeps changing, how can I know that if I vote for him, I'll get what I want?
Well, it's easy. You're not even gonna get that. Like most politicians are really smart in that way. Like we don't like give them enough credit. That like whenever like they try to campaign for like their stuff, they don't really go too much into like those promises. Even after like they got elected, like they don't just like reveal themselves that like, yeah, actually we're not gonna do any of those things. Because like that's like a very easy way to like lose your support.
Yeah. Another. I just got a comment from Backseater. Hello, Backseater. Thank you for joining us. It says, "Is Nick Fuentes a liberal?" Oh, No, a Libra. Or is it meant to be liberal?
Libra, I like horoscope.
Horoscope, yeah. I think it's meant to be liberal. Well, I don't know. I honestly
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
look it up for you.
Yeah, I cannot. From what I've heard him say, I cannot actually pinpoint what he is, because one day he'll be one thing, and the next day he'll be another. If he classes himself as a liberal, then there's a lot of issues, because
Apparently he's a Leo because he was born on August the 18th.
All right.
Well, at least we know now.
Oh, the Libra would explain his flip flopping. Well, he's a Leo, so does that explain it?
I don't know. I don't believe in any of those things.
No, the only thing, and I said this obviously off air with you, is the only thing that he's actually 100% behind is his politics against Jews in Israel.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even going to even say he's anti-Semitic, because that's just a word used by the left to try and counter any criticism of Israel. But his only it seems like from what I've seen and heard and read, the only thing he's consistent on is he doesn't like Israel and he doesn't like Jews. But at the same time, that sort of rhetoric, what makes him different from like Hassan Piker?
Oh man, like he's like a right winger Hassan Piker.
No, but honestly, I've always said this: if your only thing that you think makes you right wing is you don't like Jews, then I'm sorry to tell you this, but the entire left wing don't like Jews.
Yeah, like I think like he would have like a way easier time being a left winger if he was like trying to like run a business.
Yeah, see, this is the thing that I always like trying to explain to people. Like, you may be online saying I'm right wing and I don't like Jews. It's like, yeah, great. The left are actually protesting and being violent.
Yeah,
and supporting people who are killing Jews. And this is not me saying I support Israel or anything like that. I'm just pointing out the fact that there's more to being right wing than I don't like Israel.
Far more than that. Like, but nowadays, if you're like anti-illegal immigration, that also makes you a right wing. Even though like that what used to be like a very moderate position in what's that, like the 90s.
Yeah, that 90s liberalism, as I call it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where I'm trying to come across with, like, I'm trying to understand. Number one, why he says the stuff he says, and number two, I'm trying to get out of there that criticism of him isn't attacking him. It's a legitimate thing. Like, I'm not going to support someone that I can't criticize or is demanding that I just agree with everything they say. That's just not how I am.
Yeah, like no one should be like 100% like behind like someone. Like if they even like they have like a slight disagreement on like the media that they like to watch.
Yeah. So as well, and this is something that I've noticed, and this is obviously a detriment to Fuentes and the movement, is if everyone in that movement starts acting like it's a cult and it's like a cult of personality, then people who aren't part of it will just treat you like a cult of personality.
Yeah, that's certainly how it works.
Yeah, but that it automatically, ruins your movement, because people go, "Oh, well, it's just a cult. I'm not going to listen to it." you know, and anything. It doesn't matter how much you shout, scream, and insult someone. They're still not just going to listen to you because they're like, well, you're just going to.
Yeah.
And that is the worry, because if it carries on and he just keeps, because at the moment in time, Fuentes to people outside of it just looks like some schizo who says whatever he wants and knows that there's a crowd of people who will just agree with him, regardless of what's being said. And that it just puts people off.
Well, honestly, like I feel like Fuentes has already reached his peak moment, because remember when he was like camping, like he already was like a really big popular streamer, like even like before like January 6th, but like he managed to like get like Kanye West to campaign with him, and like that homosexual like or ex-homosexual British guy like Milo something
Milo,
something Greek name, so the thing is that like the three of them were like campaigning so hard that like they actually got invited to like Trump's place, and like Trump got so turned off by him that like he like eventually like it all fell apart. Like I don't know like if it was like Kanye like distancing himself from this guy or like the other way around, but like it fell apart like very quickly.
Well, I get told that it was obviously Fuentes who distanced himself from Kanye.
Well, I do know that like Milo like said that like Milo was the first one to drop out from that because like, he had enough of Fuentes' bullshit. And like the other part is that like I think Kanye got addicted to nitrous oxide or something, which is very funny by itself, but like it's just not good for someone who's trying to campaign for politics to be addicted to like a stupid drug. But it's just
it felt like a massive waste of
time. Putting their faith into something like that was very, very idiotic in the first place.
Yeah, it puts a black mark against you forever, regardless of what you think.
Yeah, like and like going live on Alex Jones show, like what is this his stupid show called? Infowars, and like he's like embarrassed to have you on. Like that has to be like a degree of like retardation that like if you reach that, you know that there's no going back.
I think another thing is as well, since Charlie Kirk's assassination, I think that did actually also hurt Fuentes and his movement, because the right did more after Kirk's assassination to go after the left and actually, you know, draw a line in the sand than anything that Fuentes has done.
Yes, that was a deep cut into him.
Yeah, because actually seeing, you know, them class Antifa as a terrorist organization, seeing them actually, you know, send the National Guard into places, seeing, you know, Trump just say, you know, enough's enough, and, you know, start hitting them fast. Was surprising, especially as, you know, obviously like a European looking from the outside, and then hearing Fuentes go, well, more can be done. It's like, oh right, okay, so you've made the first steps, but more can be done. Yeah, we know that, and it just felt like he was going, well, nothing that gets done by this administration I will be happy with, because it's not me doing it.
Yep.
Because another thing I've noticed is he's very anti-Anglo-centric movements in Europe and Australia.
I haven't like really like followed that part of his
He
clips, but like
so in
what is
Australia,
his
right?
like general opinion?
Well, in Australia, the actual white nationalists are getting a foothold everywhere. They're actually going out and beating up Antifa communists, and
Yeah, I
people are
have
getting
seen
behind
like that, but like I never seen like Fuentes reacting to that.
he says it's silly, they're just LARPing as Nazis.
Really, they are LARPing, even though like they
Yeah,
actually go outside to present themselves and not
yeah.
just like be on a
Uh,
fucking
bear
live
in mind,
stream.
I got into an argument with a groper about it, and he said, "Yeah, they're just LARPing as Nazis. It's embarrassing." And he had his ex profile picture was a
A
German
Nazi
soldier wearing
as
the
a
Waffen
uniform.
SS.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And I was like, "Oh, right, okay. You have no idea what you're actually talking about."
it's,
He then said about in the UK, obviously about Southport and the protests and the riots and stuff, how it's all just silly, they're just going to get arrested. And
I mean, like that's Carl Benjamin's opinion as well.
that's the reason why Carl Benjamin blocked me, because I called him a coward.
Yeah. Now he changed his opinion, but it's
Yeah,
still
now he's changed his mind. Well, because
that's it. That's
it's
his.
the
It's the more popular
sorry,
choice to make.
it's not that. It's the fact that Southport really was the crossing of the Rubicon for British politics. It will never go. It will never go back to the way it was, and ever since then, it's been just over a year, and the entire discussion about immigration and everything has just like speed run right into like remigration is on the word, on the lips of everybody.
Yeah, even like Labour.
Yeah, it's one of those things where everyone can see that come 2029, if there is another election, the right wing parties are going to win, and that's it. But that something like Southport had to happen, and Francis just wasn't behind it, and it just seems like it almost feels like if it's not him doing something, he's not interested and he's not behind anything. He must be the one leading it, and that's another obviously issue, because well, other people can do stuff.
He's just that doesn't have like that kind of like. So far, like he hasn't like really presented himself that like he would be capable of leading like something like that. If someone talking online, like and having a live stream, like be it successful or whatever, it's not gonna like equate to someone actually leading people. Churchill was something like that.
Yeah, Church could say stuff, but we couldn't lead you into battle.
Like he even like tried to like say like nice things when the European Union like began like some of the ideas, like see where that lends us.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think one of the issues as well is the quote was obviously he'd work with anybody, but it more and more felt like as long as they just followed what I said, and that seems to be a thing.
That's very visual thinking.
Yeah, it just seems to be like he must lead. No one's allowed to argue with him. If you do argue with him, you get bombarded by his fans to the point where discussion's dead. You just stop interacting with anything because you just get fed up of being swamped by people who have already decided that whatever you say is wrong and whatever he says, Fuentes says, is right.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to say this in like the nicest way possible, without just sounding like, a dick.
that must be very challenging.
Yeah, it is actually. It goes against everything that I stand for. No, because you've got to when you discuss things about Fuentes, you've got to be nuanced about it. I mean, you've got to accept that the fact that you're even talking about it means that you're going to get 600 comments by gropers calling you a retard, and how stupid you are, and or you must be Jewish or Indian, or blah blah blah, and or you're brown.
All
so you
of
got to
those
accept
things
that.
combined.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've been called all of those things by him, which is hilarious because 90% of them are Mexican.
Yeah.
The funniest thing though is during that period, just after he said, but obviously, I don't care what color you are, where or blah blah blah. I was being called racist by gropers.
Really?
Yeah.
Yesterday?
Oh, throughout the last couple of days.
That's amazing.
I just couldn't believe it. I was like, what world am I living in here? I'm racist to you. The guys who keep the guys were like, oh, it's
guys
white,
who kept calling you a Jew, like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, and then stop calling me a Jew when Fuentes says you can't just call people Jewish without evidence, and then I started getting called Indian. It's like, oh, right, okay, so
and AI generated and so
on.
on.
AI generated, yeah. Because he says, prove that you're white, and I said, well, I've got videos where I'm sat in front of a camera. Oh, yeah, you're AI generated. I'm like, right, okay. Thank you. I'm glad we had this conversation.
Oh man,
I'm glad all 3 of your IQ points were used. But see, that's a. Hang on. Sorry, I just had a cough.
Oh,
sorry, yeah, I just had a cough. But that's another thing.
I was about to try selling your pills, like that we discussed in the green room, the Hawke pills.
Oh yes, yeah.
The hottest thing in Kirkwall right now.
Oh yeah.
At least what's remained of it.
Oh yeah, don't get me started on that. But yeah, I yeah, it just seems like with Fuentes is it comes across as something of like I'm almost just giving up, trying to understand and b even criticize him, because it doesn't matter. He's just going to flip and flop all over the place to his heart's content because he knows his fans will follow him no matter what.
Yeah.
So it doesn't. Do you know what I mean? It's
yeah.
Like I said,
definitely no.
3 days ago they're all 90s liberalism. Now they're back to, well, we're all racist boys. It's a white boy summer.
Boy summer.
Yeah, that's oh yeah, that's something that came up. Like, he goes, oh, you can't believe what's going to happen. What's brewing under the surface with the whites? You're not ready for it. And it's like, okay. Anyway, we're in November now.
But what
I
it's
didn't see
irritating.
anything.
Yeah, what is irritating about him is that he's putting everything on America, and I don't even know if he even cares about anyone else than him, and that because he's from a mixed descent, he doesn't get it that if a major part of the world, like Europe or Australia for that reason, falls, that means it's not gonna return to being white. If they do become a minority, then it does mean that it's just gonna continue like that. but it's just he just can't see it.
It's not that. I just think that he's bending over backwards to make sure that white will always include Mexican Italian people, when white has always meant pretty much Anglo-Saxon. Like that's the definition. Like when the founding fathers wrote about white people, they didn't mean the French or the Europeans or anything like that. They meant Anglo-Saxons.
Anglo-Saxons, yeah.
And I know people said
very,
he's got
very
Irish
precise
as well.
on who they want to include in their continent.
Well, that's who they were descended from. I mean, let's put it this way: even the Irish weren't classed as white.
Yeah.
So, but enough about that, because it's
it's like we're getting into real world racism now. Like we have to concentrate on the Aztecs.
Yeah. So yeah, I think there's a lot of issues in regards to it where he doesn't understand the ethnic conflicts that are abound. But it's one of those where he says about obviously taking to the street, the white boy summer or whatever it is, and eventually what's going to happen, and people are not going to accept it anymore. And then, say in the UK, something like that happens, and there's riots and there's protests and all this, he immediately goes, "Oh well, that's stupid. They'll just get arrested." Well, what do you want?
That's
in Australia,
like he's never gonna give a straight answer to that. Yeah.
If you want people to rise up on the streets, don't immediately condemn the people who rise up on the streets. Like, I don't really. This is the thing. I don't really know what the end goal is.
I think because the end goal is to make more people stupid.
No, but truthfully, it's one of those where it's like, let's say end goal. I mean, if Fuentes wants to lead, wants to be the leader of the right, and then be in charge, and like someone said, president of America. Well, then you've got to have some idea of how you're going to do that. Like, do you think when he gets old enough to run for president that the system that he's against is not going to try and stop him at every turn?
He foolishly believes that it's
like
that, yeah.
Or do you think it's going to be a fair and valid election?
No, it's the more
this is the same guy who someone steps on January 6th.
That was something that I never could understand. Like, he was literally there with very loudly telling people to go storm the building, and he never really spent really day in jail. Well, some of his superiors did.
Yeah, well, I've been told that there wasn't enough evidence to put him at the event.
Yeah. Even though there's several videos of him encouraging people to do that.
I have been told by his supporters there was not enough evidence to put him at the event, and so he just dropped all charges.
Yeah, that was so bizarre. I remember that I was on Twitter that day, the moment it happened. I saw it live streamed. That was such a crazy time to see something like that.
And think if the left hadn't have
done all that, Trump will be president today.
Yeah.
But that's another topic and discussion. But one of my final things is obviously he had that interview with Tucker Carlson.
Yes.
And one thing that got me, and it makes me cringe, because of the underlying, how would I say it? The underlying implications, is when they joked about calling each other Fed. Did you see that?
Which part of that triggered you?
I thought you were a Fed. I thought you were a Fed.
And they left it off.
Yeah. And I just thought, oh, that's interesting, because in February, March time, Fuentes did that massive stream where he pretty much brought up evidence that Tucker Carlson was a CIA asset. When he went in to rip on as well on Candace Owens. And I just thought, oh, right. So you say all that, do everything like that, try and bring up all this, your fans support it, and now you go into a street interview with each other, laugh off those accusations, and everyone just forgets about that big massive rant you went on.
Yeah, because they have a memory of a goldfish. But I think it's very funny because, like, it's I'm maybe like I could believe that like Tucker Carlson is also a Fed, but like it's because like he actually has like connections. There's like an objective like truth that like his father had like a lot of good connections, but it's still like a father talking to his son. Like that's like was the impression I got from that interview. And like Fuentes is taking like he's in control. Meanwhile, like the dad is like allowing him to like feel like he's in power.
Yeah, it was just something that just got my mind thinking a bit like you do this whole stream where you like rip into him and everyone like praise you for ripping into Tucker Carlson. Everyone says how Tucker Carlson's now, it's all over, Tucker Carlson shouldn't be trusted, blah, blah, blah. They literally do one interview with each other where they're half decent to each other. Nothing's changed, right? Nothing's actually changed. The dynamic's not changed. They're just nice to each other for 2 hours, right? And now Tucker Carlson is, back to where he is. It's like it's hard. It almost feels like he's currently going after Ben Shapiro. If Ben Shapiro just interviewed him, the whole dynamic would change again.
Yeah,
and we'd be forced to forget everything that happened. And I'm just like, oh, okay. I don't really know what's going on here, because I just feel that like we're just attacking other, I don't know, quotation marks, right wingers, until Fuentes is like, oh no, he can be with me now.
Yeah, it's I think at this point maybe Fuentes is gonna do like a new interview and it's gonna be with Ben Shapiro. Or maybe it's just gonna be a debate or like something, and he's just gonna like drop the act, like he's like he does like with all the other interviews where like he's with someone else, because like he keeps like using the N-word, which we can't say on YouTube, unfortunately, but like he like doesn't like say those things when like he was with Kanye or Candace Owens.
Yeah. Like I said, it just feels that from January the 1st this year to December 31st, I feel like we'll be going through at least 200 different versions of Fuentes. And each one will be, oh, this is how it's always been. And then he'll change something. No, this is how it's always been. No, this is how it's always been. And I just feel that it lessens everything, because like I say, if you go backwards and forwards constantly, people just aren't going to stick around. And whatever you're trying to build just ends up just, being nothing.
Yeah, it's just like I said at the beginning, like it's like a child, like keep changing his opinions. And, like people are just like going along with it because like they just either like don't have the capacity like to follow along all the time, or they just like eat up like whatever he says. And like if like that's your foundation, that like you just like you gotta like follow like whatever is like more like he's more like a devil's advocate, honestly.
Yeah.
He's just gonna like be going against you. Like he was not campaigning, but like he was just saying that like the last 2 or like last month of like the US election last year, he was willing to say that like, well, fuck Trump, I'm gonna go for Kamala because like Kamala has like more brat energy. It's like what the hell is that supposed to even mean? Like you you have like this fucking podcast like stream, whatever it's called, and you're like advocating that like, oh, I'm not the right wing, like this is like we have to like conservative, and like we have to go back to like these old values, and like we have to be like more cruel with these like people, and that he's like advocating for like this psychopath.
Yeah. Well,
really,
let's put it this way. He thought Gavin Newsom was cool because he's got white kids.
Yes. Oh, that backfired so hard.
Well, at the same time, bear in mind as well, this is what someone else pointed out, he's attacking JD Vance and JD Vance's kids, right?
Yeah.
All this sort of stuff. Yet, from his quote of, I don't care who you are as long as you put America first. JD Vance does put America first.
Yeah.
But like his kids will obviously grow up with those similar beliefs and stuff like that.
Yes.
But they're not allowed. Like he's like, no, they're not them. It's like, right. So what you're really saying is, as I said before, as long as they support me, I'm okay with them. That's what America first just means Fuentes first. At this point, that's what I personally feel, and I feel that
yes,
it's as it's gone on, that seems to be how even his supporters are. Like I say about that guy who accused me of being Jewish, and once I explained, hang on, I'm English, I'm a white English guy and everything like that. He's like, oh yeah, well, Jewish doesn't mean the religion of Jew. I'm like, right. And
okay.
For him, Jewish actually meant anyone who wasn't a supporter of Fuentes.
Oh, that I guess like the whatever that thing like that, like they call it the Holo Live Coast or something like that. It never happened because like there's like billions of Jews left. Like it wasn't like really a significant like genocide.
I was just a bit like, hang on, so to be Jewish just means to be against Fuentes. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, so if a Jew supports Fuentes, does that make him a Jew? And they're like, oh no. I'm like, what? So this means I couldn't wrap my head around it to the point of like, I was like, it's one of the two times I've blocked somebody on X, because I just thought, no, there's no point to this. This is ridiculous. And you know me, I don't like blocking people on X.
Yeah, but like that was like calling for it. Like that was like so ridiculous. Like that guy was like legitimately wasting your time. Like it's better to like not care about those people and just move on. Like it's really just
like I said, blocked, moved on. I just didn't.
Yeah.
Didn't care.
If you explain it like politely, like 2 or 3 times to him, like I do remember that conversation you had with that guy, and like you were really like giving him the benefit of the doubt, and like he just kept on going with like the same shit.
Yeah. The other guy I blocked was another groper who called me Indian.
Indian, yeah.
And then said that was AI. That was another one where I went, I'm not bothering with this. This is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. I just like every interaction I ever have with them is always the same. It's always terrible. It always makes me regret saying anything. So
yeah, it's better to just move on and
yeah,
like because you're just gonna get like other people like commenting that, but then maybe like you can get through them next time.
Yeah, maybe. The thing is, it's one of those things where I've just sort of accepted that if I say anything, or I even comment on other people's posts saying, as long as you're okay being bombarded by people, yeah, then say something. But otherwise, don't bother. But the issue with that is, I say issue, but what will happen with that is it will become an echo chamber.
Yes.
But it will become an echo chamber that gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And anything they think they've achieved will be negated. And well, I don't want to see people who put like a lot of effort into the movement end up like that. Because it does feel like a bit of a waste of time. And there are, genuine people who want to do, stuff and change things.
Yes, certainly are. Yeah.
I just feel, well, I feel like those people will soon get obviously kicked out for not agreeing 100%. So it's strange. Whenever there's outrage about it, it always goes down the same route. Fuentes says something, people criticize it. Fuentes' fans come out in force and defend it. And then, like you say, 2 or 3 days later, he changes his opinion, and we just have to carry on.
Yeah.
Because then his supporters come out and defend that, even though it contradicts what they said a few days ago.
It do be like that, Mr. Hawke.
Oh dear, sorry.
Every time I laugh, I've still got a bit of that bronchitis.
Yeah.
So every time I laugh, it sets off my coughing. So I hate it. I hate it. I'm ill. I'm an ill man.
You'll get over it in like two or three more groypers. You'll be fine.
But yeah, really, we've gone over. I think pretty much everything about this latest outrage.
We can put an end to this chapter of Fuentes on this channel.
Yeah, it was just something. I think what really got me was when I saw it. It 100% reminded me of every single stupid fucking leftist that I've ever had to listen to.
Yes.
Every single damn fucking leftist who's like destroyed my country has said the exact same shit. And like I was trying to explain to people, it's all right. It's all right saying anybody, blah, blah, as long as you support us. Well, that's what we said in England. And now look at us. Because the thing is, they lie. They lie when they get into positions of power. And then when they're in power, they change what it means. Say, obviously in England, they change what it means to be English.
Yes.
And that's what you'll see in America, where they'll change what it means to be American.
Yeah.
And I know people we mean like like the blacks who have been here for 400 years. I'm like, okay, that's great, but they will change what it means to be American. And what you'll end up with is like American means not white. The same way that happens over in England, where the English are no longer even indigenous to our own nation.
Yeah, like it does amaze me because like today like I was at my workplace, and like I usually use YouTube in incognito because I can't really use my YouTube account there. So like I get like all the popular videos that are right now in YouTube. And like one of them was like recommended to me, and the title was that America no longer has an aura, or like some like modern way like Zoomer talk, and like the entire video was just the guy like saying like, yeah, well, America no longer has like an aura anymore, and we're more like who's that guy from The Boys, like the villain,
Homelander.
Homelander, and I was like, oh god, like everything has to be like like media reference. Like say like, oh, well, if you're cool, that means like you have an aura. It's like shut up. Like is that really like what the fucking culture has devolved to? That like everything has to be like the basis of that.
At least we moved past the fucking everything's Harry Potter.
Everything is Harry Potter.
All good guys are Harry Potter. All bad guys are Voldemort. Thank fuck.
And it's all because the author had like 1% of her liberal opinions differ from the rest of them, because like she was not willing to like call herself a birthing person.
It's crazy, but like I say, we've in Europe we've had all this. And we've the right has fought back against it, and they've hit back against all the stuff that's been said. And I don't think Americans fully understand what is going to happen if the rhetoric that was said in that quote becomes mainstream with everything.
Yeah, like
America.
They are, even right now, like they are currently like on the opinion that like as long as they are like hardworking people, we can accept them and they can live with us, and we're gonna build like an even better nation now. But like you're not gonna have that identity anymore. Like as at the moment that like there's gonna be like a increased population of them, and because of like how laws are and like how like they call like Trump like a far rightist, but like he's really like a 90s liberal, like deep down, unless he's called out to like do something that's like more popular, like gets him more power.
The best way to describe it is America still America if it's just filled with Indians, even though they wave the flag?
But most Americans would say yes, because they have the paper, they were born there, and they say like, oh well.
But would it be?
It wouldn't be. It absolutely wouldn't be.
Of course, it wouldn't be. It would if every single white person left America, it wouldn't be America.
It wouldn't be, yeah.
And everyone knows that.
Some people would be celebrating. Some people would be celebrating that, like, all the natives are still here. It's like they didn't really contribute to like the America that's today.
No. But the thing is that there's a set group of people for America. It's the people who founded it, and you look back at what the actual population was back then, and you can clearly see who made that nation.
Yeah,
there's a reason why it's so very similar to Britain in just a few different ways.
Yeah, it's like a Britain mixed with the German people that aren't retarded, and so some French and like some other like white people that knew like what they were doing.
Well, the thing is when America was founded, there were very few, obviously, of the European nations that actually existed as they do now. So they say Germans. It's like, well, they weren't Germans, were they?
They were like some other, like I don't remember it, but I think like they came from Hamburg, because like that's why like the hamburger is such a big hit in America. But they were like nation states. Yeah.
I mean, Germany didn't form together until 1850 something.
Yes, that's when they fused with Prussia as well.
Even Italy was even later.
Yes, yeah, way later than that. They still had the king around that time.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where the only real group of people who were peoples were the Anglo-Saxons. That's why they got such a major hold over everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the major worry is the major worry from a lot of people, especially European right wingers, is don't start slipping into this rhetoric, which makes your heritage just where you're born. Because once you start doing, I mean, the old saying is, a dog born in a stable still a dog. It's not a horse.
Yeah, it all goes back to that.
Yeah, and when they say, well, we've always been immigrants, like we've only just arrived, like in the 1600s. It's like, yeah, that's true, but then it also means you're more indigenous than the Maori in New Zealand.
Yes, it who just like actually genocided the previous inhabitants
But
of
it's
that
like,
island.
but the thing is the English had a colony in America before the Maori turned up in New Zealand.
Yeah.
So if the Maori
But-
are indigenous to New Zealand, then white English people, the Anglo-Americans, like always remember as well, to anyone who ever listens to this, a black person in America is called an African American. Hispanic is called, Latin American. You've got Korean Americans, Chinese Americans, Japanese Americans. But when you speak to a white person, a white Anglo person, they're just known as American.
Yeah.
There's no Anglo-American. There's no, English American. It's just American.
It's just American, yeah. That's
So
what they're called.
So that tells you that even in the lexicon of humanity, the whites were just known as Americans there.
Mm.
If you have to hyphenate something, you always go with whatever comes first in the hyphenation.
Yes.
So African Americans always go for Africa. Korean Americans are always Korean.
And they want to be in that like segregated group. Like I have heard so many stories, like the Chinese like to be segregated by themselves. That and like some of those Southeast Asians as well. But like the Chinese are so hardcore. Like even if they go to some place like the Philippines or Indonesia, they have their own segregated group that they don't want to breed with others that aren't Chinese. That's insane. Like even if you're a 50% Chinese, they don't accept you like that. I only recently heard about this.
I'll be brutally honest with it. Racism is in every single culture.
Yes, and denying it is racist itself.
Yeah. So to say, we're all one big melting pot. No, it doesn't.
No.
Eventually, everyone segregates into their own things.
Yeah, but it's just it's very wrong to think that if you just accept that everyone needs to mix with everyone, like Africa and Asia and all those other places, India is just gonna be the same. It's not gonna change.
I always try to explain to people, for years and years and years, people blamed all the chaos and conflict in Africa on the fact that when the colonial powers left, they just shoved different groups of people together and forced them to live in similar, the same country.
Oh no!
Right now, they do that just in their own cities, and then they're surprised when the different ethnic groups fight each other.
Yes, it's so funny.
How could you trust them? There's a civil war happening in Sudan right now.
Yeah.
Between where Christians are being massacred, right, by Islamists. And beforehand, people would say, "Oh, that's because we forced Christians and Muslims together." And
in like the 90s and early 2000s when I was at school, you were told, so they should have really separated the countries so that the Christians could have their own place and the Muslims could have their own, because they can't coexist. And then in the 10 years later, they're literally telling you, no, we must shove every culture and ethnicity in together because diversity is our strength.
Yeah.
What do you mean the Hindus and the Muslims are fighting each other over a cricket match? What do you mean there's racist abuse?
It's so silly.
So yeah. Anyway, I think that's
Yeah, like
pretty
we're going like way past like the original topic. Yeah. Gotta leave some for the next time.
Oh yeah, of course. When the next time I talk about this, which is never, because there's other things to talk about.
Yeah, BioWare.
Oh yeah. I'm actually going to try and sort that out. Actually, I've got a big idea for that one. But yeah, no, that was our very first stream. We got to the highs of 4 viewers. Wow. I'm sure those 4 people were really angry and annoyed with what we had to say.
For like 27 subs. How many you have right now?
I think so. Obviously, I'm rolling in it.
Yeah, we're still in the views from Smud right now.
Oh yeah. I don't even know if he's live. I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of his stuff recently.
No, but yeah, that was it. I'm sure people, whoever find this video, will comment really angrily about how we're both retarded and Nick's the most intelligent person in the world and he's better because he's got millions of followers. And
I'm sure he is. And
I'm just Jewish or something. I don't know. I assume that's what I'll get called.
Yeah.
But hey, hope people enjoy it. God, a whole hour. Jesus Christ. God, there's gonna be like one person like pulling a trigger and killing themselves after sitting through it.
Yeah, but only after he watched like Nick Fuentes play with his Legos. Have you seen that video?
No.
Okay, like there's a video of him somewhere online where he's showing off all his Lego sets.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with Lego.
Yeah, but like it was just like, what if like the autism was like way more in him and like he never got out of that and like he was still like that kind of personality, like he never bothered to like go on online and talk about like, hey, how about like Kanye West gonna
be how about Heil Hitler?
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, right, but thank you everyone who watched. I know I'm talking to absolutely no one right now because there's no view.
There's gonna be people rewatching this stream.
Oh
very patiently.
Yeah, and they'll wait till right now, and I'll say thank you for watching, Michael
and Eric.
There might be one person called Michael, and another called Eric. Who'll be like, "Oh my god!" Be like, got you.
All right.
Right. Anyway, thanks for watching the very first episode of Kirkwall Crusaders. I don't know when the next one's going to be out. I don't even know when the next video is going to be out. I am incredibly terrible at planning stuff and doing.
It will be out when it's out.
Out when it's
out. A great work ethic.
Yes, excellent. Right. See you all later. Bye.
Good night, guys.